Hey, so I'll work really hard to not be the old man that says, get off my lawn. It's not necessarily a rant. I think there's some things to learn here. And what we can learn is some of these maybe social strategies on how to communicate. And why do we want that? For marketing. At the end of the day, we're all somewhat competing with each other. There's only so many providers and only so many patients. And one of the things that I think is really, really difficult, at least in my situation, something that I really struggle with is how do you respond to someone that either already believes scientifically, factually wrong information, or their opinion of what they're doing or the people that are advising them is elite, aka, oh, my guy is the best, my surgeon is the best. Not only is that false, certain people have information that can allow them to have a more informed opinion, and it is really, really difficult because everybody's guy is the best. And really what you're saying is you are satisfied with your experience with that individual and you have no other data for this. This is even worse than an N of 1 because it's completely subjective. I think when you have more data, and it might still be very subjective, what I am basing things on at all times is not even the skill set of the provider, the surgeon, the nutrition, whatever it is. I am basing it on their willingness and ability to communicate. And are they aligned? Is there a reasonable amount of congruency in what they say and how they say it versus what I or somebody else might say? So you want everybody to be relatively on the same page, and at the same time, you want people to have enough of a leeway, enough of a right-left barrier so that they can do their thing and they can be special in doing it. But it's incredibly difficult when you know that the person is simply false in what they're saying, but then how do you still use communication strategies that really don't scare them away? Now, here's the thing. One way of doing this, and this might be the reason I'm saying it first, it might be the one that I use the most. Why do you think that? So your surgeon is the best. I'm like, why do you even think that? Like, what? Seriously, come on, tell me. And obviously that's a significant risk on my part. It would not be communicating to someone who I am new with. It's someone that you have some level of relationship and value to what you're communicating. But why do you think this? You're one person. You're still talking to me. Do you think I am telling you that your information is bad for? No, it's because your problem has not been solved. Has this individual given you a time frame in how things could be solved? None of these things are the case. You're not even in the discussion of somebody being the best when you don't have any of this information. I think sometimes there's also confusion between if you communicate well with somebody and they just kiss your ass. Except if they just kiss your ass, you're communicating well. The patient, everybody wins when everyone's on the same page. Now, I don't judge a surgeon, for instance. I will never judge them based on their ability to do their work. And even though all of us can learn how to do a meniscectomy off of YouTube, we don't get into that, okay? So I will never communicate that so-and-so is not good at what they do when they're looking at the camera through the scope. And also, if I have not seen all of their patients, I have no idea where this is coming from in terms of these results appearing to be overwhelmingly not positive. You can't judge unless you see every patient that the surgeon sees. You can't comment in any level of legitimacy that this is a good surgeon. What you can say is the dude's a jerk. You can say that the dude's really cool. You're allowed to say those things. And that in itself does not make him or her a good surgeon. It doesn't make him or her a bad surgeon. We also know that you can be a really, really good person and people love being around you and you suck at your job. That is allowed. And obviously the challenge, particularly if you're watching this, I'll assume that where most of us are either associated with or in the profession of directly helping people. And in these direct human service types professions, it's very hard to dissociate if you have something not positive to say about somebody that it automatically means something else, because multiple things can be true. You're allowed to be really, really good at your job and be a jerk. Now, how that information is communicated, how it's volunteered, how it gets out there, that's the challenge. And my rule is like, you can't volunteer this. I'm not talking about any one individual right now. I'm talking about what's possible. At least I can describe the shapes to how I think and to how we try to bridge gaps in people communicating. But at the end of the day, if your problem isn't solved, maybe your person isn't the best. maybe they actually suck. If I'm not able to communicate that in a safe way, then I don't think I'm doing my job.